Ta-dam. Hello, YouTube. Good evening. Tonight, the topic is transgender people. And with me is Bruna, Fernanda, and Ale. Bruna, please, can you introduce yourself? And do you know or follow on the social medias a transgender person?
Hello, I'm Bruna. I live in São Paulo. I work as a teacher. I also work here on TNT as a community manager. I live with my family. And yes, I know a lot actually. I don't know, there's a list. I follow Lina, who was on BBB. There are some teachers. There are some influencers. I don't know. Yeah, I follow a lot, but famous, Lineker, Lina. There are others that I can't remember now. There are some influencers too. There is that girl Trans Preta that I shared today video. A lot of people, yes, I follow. That's it.
Do you consider it important, Bruna?
At the same time, I consider it's important. Yeah, of course it is. There isn't any other option, actually. I was thinking here, yes, it is. And it's important to do it consciously, like I'm following this person because of it. And yes, it is. But I also think it is, how can I say it? Because I was thinking here, I think it is important following this person, these people, knowing they're trans, but not just but they realizing they are more than that, like they are not, this doesn't define them 100%, they are more than this. So yes, it is important, but there should be something besides this. That's it.
Great, Bruna, thanks. Yeah, there are special on social medias that we have many influences. We need to have more than just one reason to follow someone. And to Fernanda, can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Fernanda. I'm 23 years old. I like to learn new languages and about following people that I forgot the question. I follow Lina also, and I have a teacher that I follow too, that is transgender. And that's it that I remember.
What is the subject of this teacher? Just to know about it. She teaches math. Language.
French.
French?
Yeah.
Great. It's nice. Thanks, Fernanda.
Thanks.
And you, Ale.
Hello, good evening. My name is Alessandro. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Rio de Janeiro. And I do not follow any transgender social media. I usually follow more nerd stuffs or things like that. And friends at most. I don't follow many people in social media, influencers and anything, just for news and some nerd stuff.
Marvel things, DC things.
Exactly.
Yeah. Great, guys. Okay. And what about the where it basically discuss about the representation of those people on medias and on the social medias. And I want to know from you if is it important the representation of transgender people in the medias. It can be TV shows, movies, anything. Ali, I will start with you.
Okay. I believe it's important, but the same way that Bruna said, I believe it's important to show the representation and to more people see that anyone can do a job if you know how to do it. It's not about your orientation or things like that. But the gender or anything like that must not be the reason why the person was chosen. If he's good at the profession or whatever he's doing, I believe he should have a chance to do it. But I think it's important to show that everyone can do it. The the people who do not see it and maybe can think, oh, I will never be some profession that I never saw any transgender in it. That's why I think it's important, but I think it's about capability of the person to do anything.
Yeah, and I think that this is one of the reasons that I follow some transgender people, because sometimes we are just focused on this aspect, on their sexual orientation or gender identity, that we don't even realize that I don't follow they just because of it. I'm following a transgender doctor, so it's something that it's not so usual to see, and I think it's important to have this representation that they can be a doctor, they can be good actors and stuff like this. Fernanda, me too.
I think it's important to see this representation, but as Ali and Bruna said, it's important that it don't focus on the gender, but in what the person does or in the job and the things the person says, not in the gender. It's important for people to feel that they can have a good job or they can do anything they want and don't feel a lot of prejudice. That's my opinion.
Great, thanks, Faye.
Thanks.
And you, Bro.
Yes. Can I just ask Fernanda something? She said she follows a French teacher. Is it Bento? Because I also follow a trans French teacher, and he's called Bento. Is it him or not? No. Okay, I just I just wanted to check if it was the same person. So I think it is important to know. I think I was thinking here. At the same time, I think it's important to know, and it's necessary to have these people on media. I was thinking here, they shouldn't be like people shouldn't be chosen because of their gender, but at the same time, I think at some point it is important to hire people from the community, or they need to be there to so maybe there should be a choice in some way, like I don't know if I made myself clear, but I hope you I hope you got me. And Yes, and it's nice, because there are some series, and mainly when it comes to cisgender people like us, I think we still have a lot to learn, and I don't know. Yeah, that's it. It is important, and that's all. I was
Yeah,
thinking here. I was just thinking.
yeah, I think that basically there are some roles that uh, they must be occupied by transgender person. For example, a role of a transgender person in a movie. I don't think it's so fair that a cisgender person do this. So I think that there are some situations that must be a transgender person doing that job. Great.
Just a
Guys.
compliment.
Go.
I think it's still very uncommon in all works and things like that, and that's why I think it's really important to have. And I believe most places still are not uh, habituated, no, used to have cisgender and others. And I believe it's important for that, so you can see that everyone can do it. But in our society nowadays, there's a lot of preconceito.
Prejudice.
Sorry.
Prejudice.
Yes, prejudice, and there's a lot of it, and that's why I believe it's really important to show it. And it's a slow process, like I don't know, many decades ago, black people, women have a lot of it, and now it's in mind of most of people that it doesn't matter if you are man or woman, you are capable of doing. I believe we are evolving the same way we did decades ago now with this matter.
Yeah. Uh, talk about and give it the same example as I said, as some role as actress or actor. Some decades ago, and black people don't even could be actress or actors because they were not acceptable for that role, and it's another completely different subject. But okay, guys. As Alex said, it's important to be a good. It's important to be good in your job, in the place that in the position that we have, but at the same time, transgender people, they don't have since their childhood, they don't have access to education, for example, to good schools, or even to a good house, because the most part of the time they are not accepted by their families, and they are not accepted in their schools. And I want to know from you, how can schools become a safe place to those people? Because they became a good professional, they need a good basis, they need a good school. So how can this place be safe for them? Bruna.
Really difficult, but I think the teacher should be the first to receive, to accept, and to not accept, but to, take care of these students, and to understand their needs, to like talk to them, understand how they want to be called, and start calling them this way. Also correct other students when they mispronounce the student's name, hear them, because sometimes they don't have this support at home, maybe take the topic also not only to the classroom, but to the principal, and to the coordination, so that the entire school can work on this. I don't know, maybe listening to, as I said, because sometimes the houses cannot be a safe place for them. So sometimes the school is the only place that they have to be who they are and who they want to be, So I think it should be a safe place. That's it.
Yeah, and I think it's harder because even in the schools, they still talk, and if it's necessary to talk about it, gender and sexual orientation.
Yeah, and just to complement, well, school is the worst place for LGBTQIAP plus community, and like people, because the bullying is so hard, and if the school is not prepared to deal with it, students can suffer a lot, so it's really, really complicated.
Yeah, thanks, Bruna. And you, Fernanda?
Oh, it's a difficult question, but I think it's important the support from the teacher to these students in this for trans students and people with in this situation, and also the school should try to monitor it if something bad happens with these people, like bullying or something like that, to avoid this type of thing. But it's difficult, as Bruna said. This bullying happens, and it's difficult to control what the colleagues are doing or say for these people.
Yeah, and it's hard in even the classroom and outside the classroom.
Yeah.
So it's a hard situation. And you, Ale?
Well, I agree with Bruna and Fernanda, and I believe the biggest problem is to cultural issues. Don't know if that's the right name, but we are living in a moment, specifically in Brazil, that we had a president too much conservative, let's say this way, and some things that he say does not help. It instigates people to have prejudice, right? That's the word, right? And not the opposite. What would be great to a leader, let's say, of the nation to encourage, but that's not what happens, and that's passed by the population of Brazil. Not everyone, of course, but a lot of people are influenced by our authorities, presidents, governors, and things like that. And I believe we are living a time that really does not help. we have a lot of people, lots of influencers, a lot of guys with range, let's say, in social media that are trying to help, that are trying to represent some this subject, but I believe there's a lot of others in others places that they don't have reach, that's still very bad for them. And about the school in specific, I believe should be a safe place if the leaders of the school treat the subject with the importance that should have.
Yeah. About the president, I think that it's really important to say that basically in this moment, we are trying to maintain the rights that we have, because basically in any moment our rights can be cut from us. So it's not something that we must be concerned every time. And it's a shit because we have no moments of peace. Okay. Great. Let's continue, guys, because guys, the question number 3. I just skipped this question. Can the lack of visibility of trans people contribute to prejudice against them? What do you think about it, Fernanda?
Well, sorry. I guess it can prejudice. Sorry, I will read again. Sorry. I guess this can prejudice them because some people that don't see a visibility of trans can still see them as people that don't deserve respect, or that are less than others. So I think it's important for the people to see them in good position or having jobs and opportunities, to see them as people that need to be respected. I think it's more for this way.
Great. Okay. Thanks, Fernanda. Bruna, and you?
Yes, I think it can, because mainly when we don't know, when we don't have the experience, we create some ideas, we get some ideas, or we interpret stuff the way we hear it from the experience someone told us, or we have it's a truth that it isn't ours. So when trans people are not around us, maybe we can have prejudice against them, because you don't know actually, and you are being guided by someone else's opinions. So unfortunately, yes.
Yeah, especially because basically the only representation, the only visibility tab the people have about a transgender person are hookers, and basically it's the thing that the Brazilians, this is the vision that Brazilians have about a transgender people.
Yes.
And Vale.
Yes, I believe it's prejudice then, because a little about we have said earlier. They are not seen in some jobs, in some positions, and people think, well, I never have a CEO of a company transgender. That's absurd. That's nonsense and things like that. And I believe we just don't have. No, actually, I do not believe it's just for because of culture, opportunity as well, but make them visible. Let's say that way. It helps to to build a culture that do not that respects more, I believe.
Great. You said something really interesting about people have never seen a transgender person as an CEO in a company. And guys, I want to know from you if I want to know from you why it's so hard to transgender person got a job and what companies can do about it, because only 4% of transgender people have a formal job in Brazil. So it's a huge problem because, as we said some minutes ago, they don't have access to schools, they don't have access to education, so they will not have access to a formal job, to a good job. And I want to know from you what companies can do to solve this problem. Ali.
I believe some companies are looking to it. I don't know if they do that only for media or they really mean it, but there are some selective process. Don't know if that's the right name for transgender people or only for a minority of the population, and I believe that's the reason to bring them to the companies and to university and things like that. That I don't know if that's the most effective way of doing it, but certainly it's something. I believe it's at least a good try to do it.
Yeah, they are trying to give some access to this group. Bruna, and you?
So the question is how can
What can companies do to help this group?
hire them. I think maybe the problem is I checked this word, oh gosh, 2 weeks ago and I forgot, but if they in Portuguese we call it passabilidade, so transgender who have this passing, I think it's passing if I'm not mistaken, but if they pass it, so companies hire them in so maybe companies should be aware of this too, transgender people don't need to look the way society thinks they need to look like, so I think this is something complicated, and it's a really deep process for companies to understand this, and even for society to start seeing them in a different way, and respecting them this way. So maybe companies should be aware of it and should hire them because of their knowledge and their qualifications, and I think that's it.
Some companies are too attached to the image of the work.
Yeah. I don't know why, but I can't hear you anymore, Campbell. Okay. Can you say it again?
Can you hear me? Good.
Better.
So the companies are looking, some companies, not all, are looking too much for the image of the employee. And I use it to work, and I always have to dress social with the full social shoes and things like that. And if I wear a t-shirt, normal t-shirt, I was looked like, what, this guy is not wearing social. And even at the clients more, but even in the own company with no clients to see it, they still want you to dress like the dress code. And I believe the image is one thing that they really matter to some. And there is a cultural thing, like if the guy is not wearing right clothes, he's not capable. Imagine with what they think about transgender and things like that. There are some prejudice.
Yeah, and it's also a problem because past transgender people, they have access to health, they have access to doctors, they have access to medicines. In the transgender group, they are the privileged. I have no idea how to say this group, this word. They are who have access to treatments and all the stuffs in this group. They are not those people who don't have support. So it's also a problem. And you, Fernanda, what do you think?
I guess they these people need to be hired by the companies, and also the companies judge them for what their qualifications, and not say this. I think that sometimes if there's a job application and the transgender apply and other people are applying to, maybe the person will not have the chance since the company know that is a transgender. So I think this is really, really bad. One thing that should be done, I guess, is open vacancies only for people from these communities, so they can have more chances to have jobs and have competition more fair.
It's a good point.
It is, but at the same time, it shouldn't be, right?
Yes, it shouldn't be, but we're not living in the perfect world.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember, I think 2 years ago, magazine Luiza opened a process just to Black people, and it was something that makes some people go crazy, but they don't understand the reason of it. Yeah, marinara live in the perfect words. Okay, guys. Bruna said at the beginning of this conversation that it's really important in the schools and teacher and the students call transgender people by by their social names and by their pronoun, the right pronoun. And I want to know from you guys, why it's so difficult? Some people understand that those people, they deserve it to be called by their social name and by the right pronoun. Lena, that's Fernanda, and Bruna follows on Instagram, has a tattoo here. Right, she, because she wants to be called by she, and some people just don't understand. Why, Bruna?
I really don't know, but I want to share something that happened to me when I was in college. That I was with in a group, like it was like a course I was taking, and I mispronounced the pronoun of a guy, and I swear I don't know why, because he told me his name was something, and I don't know why I called him this way. So I think and at the moment I didn't realize, but like when I said it, but after some seconds I noticed, and I was like, oh gosh, and it felt so bad. Like I talked to my therapist, I almost cried, it was really bad. But I also think that thing of passability, and this passing stuff is something that influences us a lot, So if it doesn't follow the standard we as society have as women or as men, I don't know. Maybe it's something conscious, and then we have to exercise, and that's it. But yeah, maybe it's something related to sexism, to patriarchy, and all this system, and also homophobia, transphobia, everything together, mix it in one thing, That's it.
Yeah, it happens with me a lot when I moved to São Paulo, because I used to think that long hair women, short hair men, and sometimes uh, I just was in some place, and then I called, hey guy, can you help me? And when I saw it wasn't a boy, it was a woman, or it wasn't a man, it wasn't a woman, it was a boy. And it was a problem to me when I moved to São Paulo. And now I just know it's not a problem anymore. Ale, and you?
Well, I believe more time is a cultural thing. We are used to have boy, girl, couple. It's a boy and a girl, and that's for centuries, millenniums. It's in the Bible. It's the lot of books. It's a new concept. Let's say that word. Don't know if that's the right, but it's a new stuff, and I believe people get some time to get used to it, and maybe we will only this will be treated like a normal subject. Let's say that way. People will not treat these as a minority or a special subject. Maybe only next generations. I believe it's already in the minds of the most of the people, even those who not express you, just like Bruna said, she called and she say, "Oh my God, I did wrong," but it's in her mind, you know. It's hard stuff for people who want to change that thing in their head. Imagine for people that doesn't want to, they will never see it probably this way. So I believe we still are getting better, but there's a lot of way ahead yet.
Perfect point, Ale. Fernanda, I do.
I think there's like two situations when you, as Bruna said, you say something unconscious when you don't want to, but you say it wrong. Or there are people that don't want to understand. They know that it's wrong, but they think they are right to say it wrong. So I guess there's two types of situation. But the second one, I guess, is the worst, because uh, this this should not happen in a conscientemente. Sorry, I don't know the word in English.
Yeah, it's a hard word to say. Great, guys. We don't have too much time. Jesus. Okay. Last question. Many transgender people leave their parents' house because they're not respected in that place. And I want to know from you guys, what a family means to you. Do you think the blood is the most important? Because basically in the LGBT community, we try to support each other. We're trying to be our own family. I have my friends here that are really important to me. They support me a lot, and I'm really grateful to them. And I think that they are my family. They are the person who I know I can count. So to me, family isn't about the blood. And I want to know from you, Fernanda.
I'm sorry, what's the question?
The question number 10.
10. Okay.
Yes.
I think the blood is important, and the family is important for me. But you need to think in your well-being, and how would you feel in living in a place that you are not respected, or and you don't feel comfortable. So in this type of situations, if it was me, I would not keep living with my family, and I would search other place to live. I guess the respect is really important, and everybody needs to be respected.
Perfect. Thanks, Fernanda.
Thank.
And you, Bruno?
Yes, I agree with her, and I think it's for me, family means a lot, and maybe it's because I have a good relationship with my family, you know. But just like you said, Leo, for many transgender people, it's not, you know, they're not accepted. Parents don't want to accept them and to respect them, right? Actually, they don't want to respect them, and I don't in I don't know. It's difficult because I think they probably have mixed feelings, like I love my family, but they don't respect me. So I need to think of myself and to think of my well-being, just like Fernanda said. So maybe in this case, it shouldn't be that important, Really difficult.
Yeah, really difficult. Alain too.
Well, I agree with Bruna. I have a good relationship with my family, so it's really hard to talk about it. It's a very different situation that I used to. And I just remember now we are talking about movies and things like that. There will be, I don't know if it's already at the movies, but the movie everybody's talking about Jamie. It's a young man that wished to be a drag queen. And I saw the trailer like a week or two ago, and says a lot about what we are talking about today. Uh, the father does not accept it, the mother accept it, and it brings to everyone, to the society, the reality these people, the the minority lives, and the challenge they face it. It's a lot different, like I said at the beginning, from me to talk about uh, blood is important. To me, it's a lot because I have a good relationship with my family. But if I doesn't, maybe my opinion would be very different. I really don't know. So I said about this movie because everything we talk about it and I believe it brings to society some problems that are happening, and some people just don't want to see it and ignore, or don't want to talk about it and take actions to make it better.
Yeah. Some weeks ago, Netflix released Stopper, that is a TV series talk about two LGBT people, more than two LGBT people, and their childhoods in the high school, I guess. And it was so cute just because they don't talk about any problem. They just bring this image that the LGBT life is good. It's okay to be LGBT. There is no problem. You can be an LGBT and you can live your life as any person. So it's really good. It's really important when some movie bring this experience, bring this topic talk about the LGBT culture, talk about all the fights, all the rights. But it's also important to bring us as a normal person. We can be just normal as anyone. So Stopper was really nice. Great, guys. We have no time anymore, and I just want to say thank you for you all. I sent on the chat this survey to this meeting. Please answer this, and I hope to see you here again in the same time, in the same channel, to still discuss about LGBT topics. Campelo brings some Jesus, I forgot the name. Not a previous. It's how can I say?
Future.
Yeah, not a future. spoiler
Spoiler.
about the next topic. Yeah, the next topic we will discuss about pink money. Yeah.
Great. I'll be here for sure.
So we will still talk about LGBT and how companies make profits. Okay, guys. So bye-bye and see you all, guys. Thanks
Have
for
a
being
great
here.
night. Thank
Have a
you.
great
Bye-bye.
week, guys.